Today, I want to share with you my face yoga method journey. And that started a little bit longer than 3 years ago when we moved from Germany to California. When we moved, or let's say 2 weeks before we moved here, my husband looked at me and said, I'm a little bit afraid. And I was like, because we are moving, of course we are all afraid, how the kids will adjust, how everything will feel, if we are finding a house, if we find new jobs and everything. And he was looking at me and he said, no, I'm not afraid about, or for the kids or the job or blah, blah, blah. I'm afraid of you. And I was like, why? I mean, why? You don't have to be afraid about me. I will find my place, I will find my way, I will find a new job, I will be happy, because that's what I'm always doing. I'm always just trying to adjust my life and trying to, how can you say that? Trying to live my life at its best and just to be full of positive energy and full of love and spread everything. So I was like, you don't have to be afraid. Why? So when we moved in June and around Christmas, everything he said came true and I had the worst time of my life. I felt so bad and so sad and so depressed, and I felt empty and completely lost. And I always thought like, you're not allowed to feel like this because you have 3 kids, you have a husband, we already had found a house to live in. My husband had a good job. We are all healthy. So you are not allowed to feel like this, depressed and in a black hole or something like that. Everything is fine. And that worked for a couple of weeks, but then it didn't work anymore because I just felt so lost. My kids were going to school every day, speaking perfectly English, found friends. My husband was going to work every day, speaking perfect English, found friends. And there was me, sitting alone at home nearly the whole day. The only job I had was doing my household and driving around my kids, which is all a lot. And it's not that I had the feeling I'm doing nothing, but there was something missing because I worked as a physical therapist in Germany for nearly 25 years and I loved my job. I love to work. I love to help people. I love to work together with people, and this huge, immense piece was missing. And so I started to search into the internet and I was like, okay, I want to learn something. I know I cannot work as a physical therapist here in California. That's not possible. Maybe I want to become a yoga teacher, or maybe I want to do something with nutrition, because I was always living a very holistic lifestyle since, I don't know, 30 years. So I was like, okay, let's try that. And I was looking at the internet and I got more and more depressed. And every morning I looked into the mirror and I just saw this sad, empty face. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to, I don't know, act like that. I was crying a lot. I was yelling at my kids. I was just in not a good shape. No, not shape. I wasn't in a good emotional status. So I was looking and looking and looking, and then face yoga popped up. And I was, oh, face yoga, what is that? That's interesting, because I only knew body yoga. And I was like, okay, that's interesting, because at that point, I already started to think about my whole skincare routine. Because of the change from Germany to America, I got some pimples and breakouts, and also because I'm turning 49 this year, so it's a hormonal thing, and I was overthinking my diet and my skincare products, and I was like, oh, that's also in my face. That's interesting. And then I watched some videos from Fumiko, and I was like, whoa, she's so positive and full of energy. How is she doing that? Only with face yoga? I started with it. And after I was just sitting there doing the videos every day, and I was like, that's interesting, it's this, it's that. I was doing more research, and after, I would say, a week or so, I looked into the mirror in that morning and I was like, you look different. You look different this morning. There was a little smile on my face. There were some activated cheek muscles. There was a little bit of a glow in this sad and depressed face I was looking at since weeks. And I was like, oh, that's a good day. Okay, so I did my stuff that day, and my husband came home that evening and he was looking at me and said, you look different. And if you know my husband, you can be sure I can wear a new shirt, he will not recognize it. I can go to the hairdresser, he will not recognize it. So it must have been something really big seen on my face. And I was like, yeah, have a good day. And then my daughter came, and she exactly in that minute, and she was like, oh, that's because you're doing face yoga. And I was laughing. And when I went to bed, I looked into the mirror again, doing my skincare routine, my evening routine, and I was like, maybe it has really something to do with face yoga. And in exactly that second, I felt so good. It was like, oh my gosh, I found something. I found a new job. This is what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to teach people. I want to deepen my knowledge about all this. And it's not just a little bit of face yoga. It's a holistic concept. I can combine posture, my physical therapy. I can combine all my muscle knowledgement because I'm a massage therapist, and I can improve and do so much more about acupressure and my skincare stuff. I can just combine everything. And my husband came home and I said, I have the solution. And you know what? It was amazing. It was the best thing I ever did in my life. I'm a totally new person, and I'm not saying that to convince anybody or to show anybody how I'm feeling now or where I am now. It is just the truth. And nobody has to believe me that, or I don't care. I just don't care what others are saying or thinking about myself. I can look into the mirror every morning telling myself, I am beautiful. I can look into the mirror telling myself, I am worth it. I can look into the mirror every day and telling myself, this is going to be just another good day. And this is so much. My heart is filled with love and happiness and energy. I can live even a more holistic life now because my face and my facial muscles are also integrated. So it's so much more. It is so much more. I cannot tell you, or I want to tell you. If you really want to change something, start your face yoga journey. Start your face yoga method journey. Do it. It is so worth it. You are worth it. I am worth it, and so are you. It is just a wonderful experience to explore your face, to explore yourself, to embrace each and every cell in your body, to work with it, to fill yourself with self-love and energy and positivity, and it will just come. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to do face yoga. You just have to follow the face yoga method, and that's it. And this was something I really wanted to share with you because I'm asking this a lot of times. The face yoga method for Miko, Maria, as I said in the beginning, this is what we want to know from you. What's your personal story? And this was my personal story. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being part of this wonderful community for what I can work each and every day, which I really, really love. Thank you.